and the list of guests keeps growing. Obviously, the person I'm going to introduce here, Luis, Delivery TV on YouTube, and the largest Spanish speaking community on YouTube and other social medias. Um, he has his own take. He was here for the town hall with Stephanie. He's been part of this transparency fight with Sergio and David and all of us. And so I found it that we needed to bring you into this piece.
Thank you.
So, Luis, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for having me. I'm so thrilled because this type of conversation, in the end, what this type of conversation achieve is information, so people can do things based on information, and that is the mission.
Yeah, that is the mission. And so, I know that you've looked. I know you've looked this through. I keep mentioning it. It's 51 pages. The lawsuit.
Yes.
Um, this is June 24th of last year. This law went into effect. Uber's known about it since that date. They knew that this was coming. They knew the date, and
And they were like waiting and
yeah, they did
waiting
the
and
11th
waiting.
hour thing, and I mean, I guess that's their right under the law. You can do that, but again, we all know that that's just something they always do. How can
Mhm.
we really make this uglier than it needs to be, kind of thing? So, what is your take on this whole lawsuit?
Well, the first thing that I think is that if you want to know the intentions of these companies, you have to look who they sue and the reason why, and you will have the intention of a company. In this case, we are looking the intention of hide things and not to get transparency. And
Right.
so that's the first thing that comes to my mind. The other thing is, I was talking about this situation of the zoo, with members of the audience, and one of the members said something that is fair. Is a good position, and it was like, well, Uber is a private company, and they deserve to keep, the, as you said it, a couple of days ago, the secret sauce. They
Yeah.
deserve to have the secret sauce in secret. Well, that is true. As a private company, Uber is not like obligated to reveal all its secrets, and that is true. All the financial details and all those, insights. However, when a company operates in a regulated sector and in a directly way, third parties, such as drivers, for example, laws may require a certain level of transparency. This is not about exposing, uh, trade secrets, but about insurance fairness and clarity for people who relies on these platforms for to put food on their table. In
Yeah.
this case, the Colorado's, law do, the Colorado, laws, is not forcing to disclose, like private information, but it's trying to provide data that allows drivers to understand how their earnings are calculated, and that is important since drivers are not employees, and that's another important thing, but independent contractors, so they need transparency. Drivers need to know, all the information to make informed, financial decisions. This is not an attack on Uber, and Uber is trying to make things looks like that, and it's not. This regulation, I think, is designed to have a power balance
Yeah.
between the parties. That is my position, and who
I think
works on.
their biggest problem with this whole thing isn't so much. I mean, I know they don't like it. It's not the driver transparency though. It's having to provide the transparency to the customer. They don't
Please.
they don't like that at all. They don't like that the customer will see how much the driver made.
No, and it is a matter of responsibility and fairness. That's it. and they work with independent contractors. They are not employees, and they are trying to make it look like we you want us to reveal our privacy and our secret sauce, and that is not the truth. I um use the chat GPT force to
Yeah.
make my task and try to compact all those 51 pages in a couple of lines. And it's really fun. It's really fun because let me tell you this. It is kind of revealing the points that Uber make in the lawsuit, because who who brought the the papers, who brought the law, the suit, who was the lawyer who did this, because it's kind of stupid.
We've actually a few of us have joked about this. Is this a first year out of law school attorney? Because it should be one of the $8,000 an hour Uber attorneys.
So the first thing that we see here is the states force them to deliver a negative message. The law requires Uber to use large fonts and flashy designs.
Right.
So
Well, that's where they're claiming their First Amendment right is being violated. Why do we have to use 1.5 times the font size? Why do we have to? Why do we have to put out your message in front of ours? Well, it's not the message that you're saying that you have to put out is that here's the breakdown of what you paid.
mhm.
Like, I don't see how that's a problem. Like, I mean,
No.
I was saying on another example that, like, if you buy an airline ticket, you get everything, fuel surcharge, this. You might see 17 items. Some people don't care and they don't look at it, but other people want to see it.
The other thing is disordered information. The required data does not account for key factors such as cost Uber covers to comply with regulation. I mean, they're talking here about trying to uh, up, update the platform, and the money that they will spend updating the platform. So every quarter they do this. They share the earnings, and we're talking about billions of dollars.
Yeah.
So here in this paper, they are saying that it's too much money. Well, are you lying to your investors? Because you every quarter you mention that you make a lot of money. So I believe that you have the money to update the other thing is risk to driver safety. Incredible.
Yeah.
Require complex data to be shown after each trip could distract drivers. Every time a driver is driving, the app is tring, 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 tring,
Yeah.
like every time. So you don't care about safety, because
Yeah.
when a driver is when I'm delivering an order, be, when I'm trying to get to the customer house and to see the GPS, the app start to send orders and
Yeah.
orders and orders. And I know that you can stop that, but some people don't know how to stop it, and that can cause an accident. So what are you saying here? You don't care about safety. Never.
No. And they
Don't
and
make
they
me
sure
start
spent
on
a,
that.
and they sure spent a lot of pages in that lawsuit talking about safety. Like,
And
to me, it's something they should have just left out, because that's a whole nother issue and can of worms of something else they don't do.
don't talk about safety when you are a platform that you are not doing the enough to
Yeah.
protect drivers. I can give you a 51 pages document talking about your safety. The other thing is excessive operational and technical costs. Complying with these laws would require Uber to redesign the app. We already mentioned that. This is the most fun um, point here. Impact on tips. On the law, one law mandates that Uber show how much the driver earned before passenger can tip. Uber fears this could discourage tipping. Let me tell you something, Uber. If you show the customer the numbers, they will be happy to give tips,
Yeah.
because you're not giving and paying enough money to the drivers. So it will cause the contraire. The contraire.
Yeah.
It will. it will promote the tipping from customers. This is the, I think it's the most fun part. And we can go on. The government imposed its views. Uber believe that
Well,
laws
let's,
force
let's
them.
you, but let's, I think you've hit on all the important stuff, but about that, let's use these last couple minutes to, let me ask you just this as a final question here. Do you think a language barrier makes people more vulnerable to Uber's lack of transparency?
Definitely, definitely. Because one thing that's going on is, and you can feel the same, but in members of the audience, every time I share something that is not tipping money related, they don't care.
Yeah.
And I think people must be really informed about what's going on. If I say something about EV cars and the people don't care, they want the money, the money, the money. Well, this is important, and the 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 fact that everything is in English and members of the audience are not like connected with the information, of course, is creating um, a good things for the companies, but a bad thing for the driver.
Yeah, I fully agree.
Yeah.
Luis, thank you for your time. This is an important piece, and I'm really glad you were able to make the time to be in it. Because, like I said, you were here at the town hall. The bill was still in its infancy. Stephanie got her bill passed. It became law 8 months ago. Now, a week ago, a lawsuit gets filed, and here we are. So, thank
Yeah.
you very much for your time. I'm glad that you're in on this, and part of this is as a movement. We need to. This needs to end.
And before I leave, and thank you, Steve, let me send this message to Uber. You're saying that you are going to confuse the drivers and the customers. Well, I prefer the confusion. So let's clarify the
Yeah, yeah,
confusion, but
yeah,
not don't hide things to avoid confusion. No, we want the confusion. Give us the confusion.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, or if you, yeah, yeah, I fully agree. Thank you, Luis.
Thank you.